Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of Newsround for Anfield Index. What a game, what a result, what a night. Performance by so many, Anfield included, was absolutely sensational, wasn't it? As Liverpool quite rightly triumph over Real Madrid on a Tuesday night that will live long in the memory. And to be honest, apart from Thibaut Courtois, it could have been even bigger, isn't it? There was so much to like from last night, Reds. Probably we can't stop smiling. And like me, I bet already, could be wrong, but I'm going to bet strong money. You've been looking for content, haven't you? You've been looking for highlights, clips, interviews afterwards. Wayne Rooney, Sphincter absolutely going at the same time as well. So much to be positive about. I'm your host, Dave Davies, coming to you from, do you know what? Who cares what the weather's like in Edinburgh? It's just that sort of winter feel, but we have all got warmth in our hearts because after last night, I mean, being honest, that is probably our best team performance since when? When do you reckon? That 6-3 against Spurs last season? There was a few others. You could say West Ham 5-0 away, but West Ham are West Ham, aren't they? That was just a sensational team performance all round. We absolutely destroyed European elite last night. There is so much to be excited about and so much content. I bet you want to get your hands on it. So let's get right into some of the key parts. I mean, you've got to go all the way back to the lineup. And when you saw what the lineup was, you were like, oh, okay. Because there've been murmurings, haven't there, on social media that Florian Wirtz was going to start. And you were thinking and like, okay, I wonder if he's going to change anything else. And actually, that was the only single change, wasn't it? And being honest, like me, and I'm sure you were the same, you were like, yes, want to see this. Gakpo out the team, Wirtz on the left. We want to see how this works. We like the green shoots of recovery we saw against Villa. Keep the same team, move out Gakpo, put in Wirtz. This is exactly what I wanted to see. And I'm just going to say now, this is now the first team, if you want to call it that, at the moment, because things can change in football quickly. But right now, this is the best 11, isn't it? It was absolutely sensational to a man. And to be fair, the players that came off the bench were brilliant at the same time too. Just absolutely brilliant. As Helior says there, oh yeah, best team performance this season. Everyone pulled their weight, subs, everyone included. And talking about everyone pulling their weight, how electric was Anfield last night? And rather than me talk about it, let's leave it to the main man. He had his say in the press conference afterwards. Let's have a listen to what he said.
I was impressed by the atmosphere throughout the whole 90 minutes, even before the game already. So I think the fans helped us over 90 minutes, and not only the time when Trent was on the pitch. Only short afterwards, I gave him a hug. I don't even exactly know what I said, but probably not a lot. Every time I will meet him, I will either give him a hug or talk to him because he's been very special.
Yeah, we won't go into that too much. We'll talk about a certain player on the opposition side shortly as well. But Slot was bang on there. And Anfield was just before, even when they came out to a chorus of boos and that player came out to it, everyone was up for it. They knew they would be needed. And they were as you expect, the 12th man, weren't they? Absolutely brilliant. And people are putting in the chat comments or the panel, which I love, about who was man of the match, who was this. And honestly, there's performances to literally eulogize over. There really is. And let's start with the match winner, Alexis McAllister. Look at that for some stats. He won the most tackles with 3, scored the winning goal, and completed 91% of his passes afterwards. And like Real Madrid last year, was named official man of the match by UEFA as well. Quite honest, in the discussion afterwards, said it was a good game against a really good team, important win, but we know it doesn't mean anything. We have the experience of finishing first last season and we went out early. it's important to build confidence. One of the most special goals I've scored here. Alexis is world class. How many times have I said on here, the best midfielder in the Premier League? We can be honest about it. He's had a poor start to the season, as so many have. But we saw the green shoots of recovery against Villa, and against Real, he was brilliant. He was absolutely immense, the world-class player that he is. When Liverpool play well, usually Alexis will play well. If the second one doesn't happen, you don't really talk about the former too often, do you, as well? So if Alexis McAllister can just maintain or keep around this form, absolutely brilliant. And he was just absolutely sensational. Now, another player who's sensational, but I didn't hear too much fanfare about him, because maybe because of others and, them shining. The Egyptian king, Mo Salah, completed the most dribbles with 5, won the most duels, 9 against Real Madrid tonight, completed also with the most dribbles against Villa with 5, so same number again. He's back. Damn right he's back. I thought, he was sensational in this one. Did you see how often Marmadashvili hit him as the outball when there was nothing on? But like Lucas Digne, Alvaro Carreras was getting, and he is a good player, by the way, you could see that, Carreras, but at times he was getting turned inside out, wasn't he? I thought he gave as good as he got at times, but Mo was just holding it up, linking everything together. When Mo is on this form, those almost feel like two key players, don't they? If McAllister and Salah play well, everything else tends to take care of itself a little bit as well, doesn't it? Just two sensational performances. And yeah, let's get into a few that others are eulogising about as well. Connor Bradley. Absolutely pocketed Vinicius Jr. last night, didn't he? And as it says there, shout out to Ben Boxat for this, made the most recoveries with 7, won 100% of his tackles, and completed the most passes into the final third with 10 for us tonight. Connor Bradley was sensational. And a shout out to Brand Barry there saying, got a feel there for Vinny Jr. He's probably been coasted in training for months against Trent, thinking he's boss, and then comes up against Connor Bradley. I don't know what it is with Connor Bradley and Real Madrid. I wonder if it's kind of like we're thinking, well, Thibaut Courtois reserves everything for us and is just almost unbeatable at times, isn't he, as we saw repeatedly. So we've got to give someone to match on the same side. So we'll pick Connor Bradley, because when Connor Bradley comes up against Real Madrid, unbelievable. But in every essence of the game, in terms of driving the team forward at times or progressing the ball that way, in terms of the defensive side as well, working hard, is without doubt for me, and I know people think back to Chelsea and other ones, but his best ever performance in a Liverpool shirt, without doubt for me. Absolutely brilliant. And if you doubt what his teammates think of him at all, look at that from Hugo Ekitike on his socials afterwards. He does have some good socials, to be fair, Hugo Ekitike, but picture of Connor Bradley there, some player, man. Indeed. Absolutely some player. Now, Helia's put there in the chat panel, I was a bit sceptical before the match with Wirtz on the left side, but he pulled it off, didn't he? The player that created the most chances on the pitch, just sensational alongside all others. Now, Arne Slot told us he was going to be on the left wing position, but you knew he was fibbing. You knew, yes, he would be from the left for large parts of the game and out of possession, but you knew he'd be getting freedom to do what Florian Wirtz does. And he was brilliant in this one. And as Helio said there, and it's true, created the most chances, 5 whilst on the pitch, but made the most recoveries with 6 as well. Absolutely everywhere. You saw it earlier, didn't you, from those earlier minutes where he wins it in the right corner. He was crucial to our pressing as a team last night. Absolutely brilliant. And shout out to Sam Maguire, because he put his heat map up afterwards. You can see here, yeah, there is a large part on the left, no doubt at all. But smatterings of all round the pitch. That when Warrior wins it early in the right corner, and creates a chance there for McAllister, who blazes over. But do you remember the one that Szoboszlai was one-on-one and probably should have scored? I know it's a brilliant save from Courtois. It was him coming from the middle, wasn't it? Getting out to the right wing as well. Florian Wirtz was everywhere last night. But also it's what he allowed because he was almost drifting in so much. It allowed Robbo, who, by the way, played his best game in many a year as well. He was brilliant. But it was that connection almost, wasn't it? Wirtz coming in, allowing Robbo to go down that left-hand side. Sensational all round. And if there's any doubts Florian Wirtz put a shift in, look at that. Look at the top 5 distances in this game. Florian Wirtz, 11.37 kilometres. Second, Dominic Szoboszlai with 10.61k. Christ. And we know the shift. We know the iron lung that Dom's got at the same time. So, funnily enough, Szoboszlai said it afterwards on CBS, didn't he? Praised him. I know Gakpo's probably going to come back into the team on Sunday. But if you're like me, surely we're all sat here thinking, did he drop Florian Wirtz after that? Florian Wirtz on the left could, work better for Robbo, could well work better for Kerkez as well because of the fact he does drift in or the nature of how he plays. Look at the shift he put in as well. He's not trying to be Cody bashing, but it just looked better with a world-class player on the left wing, didn't it? And I know he's not a left winger, but yeah. I don't know. We will see. Other little bits of Florian Wirtz as well. If you just get a couple of minutes to yourself, we'll put it up on Anfield Index from the Respect Salah account. Shout out to that. Just the highlights. Just watch those 2 minutes or so highlights on Florian Wirtz. You'll see pressing. You'll see cute passes. You'll see clever. You will see a player who put in an unbelievable shift. And shout out to Michael Reed because we love a good stats tweet naturally on Anfield Index. Look at this one. 5 chances we know created from Florian Wirtz, more than any other player in the pitch. 16 chances created in his first 4 Champions League games for Liverpool. The most any Liverpool player has created over a run of 4 Champions League appearances on Opta records. Chance magnet, isn't he? Chance magnet, who plays well starting from the left. Could on a slot maybe drop his second son and see a run with Wirtz, but maybe we're just getting too far ahead of ourselves here. I'll tell you what else I liked as well. Virgil van Dijk in 2 parts. Virgil van Dijk on the pitch won headers, blocks, led from the front, passed it well. So good from the skipper, as you expect a little bit as well. But Virgil van Dijk post-match as well, because this, as I squeeze my hand in and out, is a visual representation of what happened to Wayne Rooney-Schfinter when Virgil van Dijk stuck it on him after the game. Did you see it? You could see Rooney literally turning into Jerry the Berry, basically running bright red. Like it as well. Like that the skipper's got that prickly side, will answer back at the same time as well. So let's just see what he said afterwards. He said there was a lot of energy and hard work in the performance tonight. They've won 14 out of the last 15 and have a lot of quality. We know their strengths, how they can punish you. We've seen that in the last few weeks. We had to be spot on in everything we do. And they were to a man. And let's not undersell this. There's unbelievable players in that Real team, isn't there? On the bench, it's just a star-studded squad. Mbappe, Vinny Jr. And we dominated them. We absolutely dominated them. But a little bit of Wayne Rooney having his soul eviscerated by Virgil van Dijk. So let's just see what he said, and I'll give you a little bit of the clip. I'm sure you've probably watched it about 12 times, like me already. So as he said, I'm living with players that, because there's been criticism, that might have been affected by it. If you lose a game for Liverpool, 4 or 5 games, there is criticism. That is normal in a sense. It is over the top at times. I think it's because we live in the world of so many platforms, so many people can say stuff and it can be picked up. Ex-players that played at the highest level had difficult moments as well. I want to perform for the team, the club, and everyone who supports through thick and thin. And of course, he's referring, if you've not seen it, to Rooney doing that bit on, I think it's his pod, where he talks about, like a leadership from Salah, from Van Dijk, and had a little talk. And you could see Virgil really picked him up on one point. And this is where his sphincter completely went. Now, apologies if this gets cut. And listen, I'm Amazon Prime. I'm giving you credit for this before you come back with any sort of counterclaim or copyright. So apologies if it does get cut when you're listening to this on the audio. If you've not seen it, we've put it up on the YouTube account and Twitter as well. So let's just have a listen. It's just to this last little bit. You can see what's really bristling Virgil here.
I think the comment about that I signed my new deal and then it's like, that's it, and I'll let it slide. I think that was a bit, but that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, you could tell that's the bit that, because Rooney did talk about it, signed his contracts and he's let it slide. And you can see Virgil nearly said a word there, but corrected himself on live TV. And he let Rooney off the hook a little bit because you could see he was filling up the same colour as Virgil's training top, wasn't he? Love that from the skipper. Absolutely spot. He's right. You lose 4 games in a row at Liverpool. Of course, there's going to be criticism. Of course, there's going to be questions asked. But responded in the best possible way. And as much as he's talking there and putting Wayne Rooney in his place, doing his talking on the pitch as the team are in this one. Absolutely sensational. And then a player came on later on, didn't he? Reversing back. So we got our boos ready, didn't we? Virgil was asked a question about this. And I kind of like the way he eyeballed Theo Walcott when he said it, but he also kind of smiled in one of the interviews afterwards where he said, "Will I speak to Trent after the game? No. Damn right he won't. Why would he? He's already talked about living, different lives and different things. Of course he's not going to speak to Trent." Funny though, isn't it, really? And those boos. Did you see Trent try that sort of weird Henderson type chip to the back post? He looked tentative, quite rightly. Got booed, quite rightly. And then the one, if you saw it on TV, this was probably my favourite reaction. Look at that fella. Trent came on. You can almost hear the boo coming out his mouth there, can't you? As he points towards the badge and kisses it. But they all got the treatment. Not just the former right back. Absolutely brilliant Anfield was. Really, really was. And a former player who leads them, I didn't agree with his assessment afterwards. I had a bit of a listen to it, his post-press conference. He talked about this, Xavi, saying it was a close game. Then in the second half, there were a lot of set pieces and Liverpool were very good at them. Absolutely not true. We were the better team in the first half. Should have scored. Think we edged it. Courtois was inspired. And in the second half, we were absolutely dominant. I mean, the only thing that flattered Real Madrid was the scoreline. It should have been more than 1-0. And if anyone doubts that, just have a look at them stats there. Our expected goals XG, 2.35. Real Madrid's 0.45. 17 shots to their 8. 9 on targets to their 2. 4 chances to their 1. In fact, if you think back to it, Mamardashvili only really has that. Do you remember that one from Bellingham where Ibu has to pull out because he kind of does him and then literally saved it one-on-one, which was good because Mamardashvili is brilliant from distance. You've no doubt of that. It's one-on-ones because you just had a few concerns with that Mbuemo one, didn't you? Or Shada, save a one-on-one, stand up big there. And he's been brilliant the last few as well. It's just brilliant all round, isn't there? There's so much to like. And we have got you absolutely covered on Anfield Index all the way through. So 1 o'clock, we will have David Lynch doing Media Matters talking about this and a huge upcoming game. We'll have Fans Forum as well later on, Fan Focus, sorry, at 6:30. Naturally, after the game, you've got the Raw Boys. Well worth a listen at the same time as well. I don't know where I stand on this. Do I want this international break to come? Because we just got the momentum going the right way. Just to be clear, it's going to be absolutely brutal against City. There will be tough moments and we'll be suffering away at the Etihad. This sounds mean, but I don't really care. I don't want it long term, but you won't mind Haaland just, the cyborg tweaking a little hammy before Sunday, wouldn't you, against Dortmund? Just put him out of this one because he's guaranteed a goal as well. It will be a tough one. And it's going to be a tough selection now for Arne Slot as well, isn't it? Because anyone who gets dropped from this lineup, if there is, will be like, hold on, look at how I played. And they'll have a fair shout, won't they? People, I might be wrong, but I bet good money you'll be the same as me, looking for content, re-watching all the performances. And we tried to be kind for you as well on Anfield Index. We put up the highlights on the Twitter account of Wirtz, Szoboszlai, all the others as well. Inject it into your eyeballs. Simple as that. You'll be bouncing into work. And remember that. All them who had a dig at you after the run, give it back in Spain. As we sit here on Wednesday, the 5th of November, with a massive smile on our face, ladies and gents. That was another news round for Anfield Index.